Hello, this is Jamaica with Jamaica Life. So let's go ahead and harvest a little bit in the garden. What got the plan here? I'll fix that. I've got plenty of space. See that line? So I'm gonna show you me harvesting a couple of things, and then we'll do a couple of pictures of the things that are blossoming in the garden. It's quite dry out here in Texas. We just get like little flurries, which is not enough for the garden. And a lot of this stuff is perishing because we're basically in a drought. But I'm doing the best I can, and I'm still harvesting. It may not look the best, but it's still here. So let's go ahead and finish what we started. One thing I noticed about peppers is that they like containers. Whether it be Scotch bonnet or bell peppers, as long as it's getting enough nutrients in a pot, you can control it better. And look at the size of that. They do better in pots. That's just my opinion. You could put them in the ground if you have fertile soil, but I got heavy clay soil. Heavy, pottery almost. Probably can't make a pot out of this stuff because it's very, very dense. And if it gets wet, it turns into a clay, like clay mold, a more clay mold. So I'm getting my Scotch bonnet out. I'm just gonna pick the yellow ones, not the green ones. But there's quite a few of them. You just have to look in here and get them off. These hot peppers seem to like heat a lot. May not get too many. They lose their potency, I think, the more they lay around. But I see some yellow ones in here, so I'm just gonna get them off, like that one. You have to look, because the greenery hides a lot. See this up here? See it? See that? Move it about and take a look. Okay, there's a lot of green ones on here. Cayenne peppers are still green. Tomatoes seem to be doing better. I'm not gonna go too deep because I don't have hard toe shoes on. So I'm just gonna pick a couple on the outside. This one is no good. See that? I just throw it out in the yard. So I think harvesting is the easiest part. Weeding is the hardest. But I'm gonna leave the weeds here because this soil is drying out and I need to protect it as much as possible. Plus I don't feel like doing it, but the weeds do help with some of the dehydration that's in this soil because it's starting to crack again. I hear a lot of you all talking about rain, and man, I wish it would rain out here. We did a good soak. Look, see that? Those turn into sinkholes. If we don't get some rains real soon, well, I'm gonna have some things pass away. I try to water as much as I can, but I can't water everything. I'm glad that a lot of my trees are established. The new ones are the ones I come out here all the time and water. Fire ant is biting me, that's why I keep stopping. I come out here and water them all the time because I don't want the ground to open around my newly planted trees. This one I watered a couple of days ago. I water the older ones, but I water the newer ones more. And I noticed a difference. So let me show you. Stuff in the ground will make it. Even in a drought area like Texas, it makes it better in the ground than it is in a pot. I have some figs, which are very hardy out here, right? And I put them in the ground. See them? Today, I just came out here and watered these. These were all, well, no. The ones in these beige pots were out here in the sun. You see where it's missing in the line? Let me get this fire ant. See where part of the line is missing right here? Right here, where the tomato plant, self-planting tomato plant is. They were in the sun. They were passing away. They were turning yellow. See this? These are the ones that were in the sun, and these are the ones that were in the shade. Doesn't matter if they're in the sun or the shade, if they're in the ground. See that? Don't they look healthy? They can draw water from the ground, but if they're in a pot, you have to water them. So I got 5 trees that I need to put in the ground. I'm not going to put these yellow ones in the ground as soon as possible. I'm going to bring them closer to the house, and then the green ones, they're going in the ground real soon. Video coming soon because they do better in the ground. You don't have to work on them as much. And when I run the sprinkler, put my stuff back in here. When I run the sprinkler, it waters the ground. Doesn't necessarily water the pots though. I learned that the hard way. I almost lost them. I looked over here the other day and I was like, oh no, oh no. So we're over here at the big patch. We're going to check our pears to see if our pears are pairing. Then we'll pick a couple of tomatoes that are on the outskirts of this tomato patch that I did not trellis. That is developing into quite a bush area, but it's just putting out. Just keeps on going. So let's check these pears. They're small. I don't expect them to be done. Let's look at I think that's a Bartlett. This one is a Shinseki. I know what this one is because I special ordered this one. And no. I have a Shinko pear that I need to put in the ground, but I don't have it over here yet. And this ground over here is wet because I water over here all the time, every other day. Because I need to keep my tomatoes alive. These are indeterminate tomatoes, which means as long as you water them and keep them going in the summer, you might not get tomatoes the entire summer. They'll stop producing. The flowers will fall off. Once we go over 100 degrees consistently, I won't get any more tomatoes because all the flowers fall off because it's too hot. But if I can keep them alive during July and August, September, they'll start producing flowers again and I'll get more tomatoes. That is why I like indeterminate. Because determinate is just one and done. They flower one time and you get whatever you can get and that's it. You don't get no more. I think it's going to stop producing soon because I see a couple of flowers on here. Ooh, mosquitoes over here. See a couple of flowers over here. And these little things, I'm going to pull them out. They ain't doing nothing. They're not staked. Them plants all over the ground. They're vining. They're reconnecting to the ground. That was when they were babies. They're not babies anymore. I'm just going to get a couple more. I've been collecting them and putting them in my freezer, and I've been feeding them to my chickens. Augmenting their feed. You know you have to feed chickens more than feed, right? You don't just feed them feed. You give them vegetables, and sometimes I give them meat. If I have anything left over that I'm a trash, well, they get it. They'll pick through and eat what they think they can eat, and the rest of it goes in the trash. So I'm just going through here and pulling these out. There's tomatoes under there. Look at it. Just lift it up and look down there. Let me bring my black basket closer so I can get some more. But look, let me put these to the side. This is what I'm looking at. They're everywhere. Just lift them up. let me stop tempting fate because Jake is out. I haven't seen him, but I'm sure he's seen me. And now the pictures. Let's see what we got out here that's growing and hiding from everyone. Because they're here. They're here. Even when you can't see them. Well, this is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. It may not be perfect, but it's mine and it's producing. And it'll produce more as long as I keep watering and taking care of it. So let me get this hose started. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Remember to water your plants. Even if you can't weed, water. Water them. It's the only way they're going to stay alive. The weeds are not going to take them out, most likely. But not watering will, especially the ones in the pots. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. Keep planting, keep growing, and keep your backups. Bye, y'all.